The phone call came just as I was preparing my monthly medication, my hands carefully measuring out the precise dosage that kept my rare genetic condition in check. Maya's voice dripped with a mixture of triumph and malice, each word like a knife twisting into my already fragile world. "Your medical treatment fund? Gone," she announced, her laughter echoing through the speaker. Mom and I decided it would be better used for something more productive. I'm Olivia Chin, 32 years old, battling a genetic disorder that requires expensive monthly treatments. My entire life had been a delicate balance of medical management and financial planning. That fund wasn't just money, it was my lifeline. "Excuse me?" I kept my voice steady, though my hands were trembling. "Oh, come on," Maya continued, her tone dismissive. "You've been living off family support for years. The fund was just sitting there, and frankly, we have better uses for it. Tiffany's college tuition, my wedding expenses." I listened in stunned silence as she continued to rationalize the theft. My sister-in-law had always resented me, viewing my medical condition as an inconvenience to the family. But this was a new level of cruelty. The fund had been carefully established by my parents before they passed away. Knowing my condition would require lifelong management, they'd set up a trust specifically to ensure I could always access the best medical care. It wasn't a handout, it was a carefully planned safety net. "You can't do this," I finally managed to say. Maya's laugh was cold. "Already done. Mom and I have power of attorney, remember. The money's been transferred. Consider it a family investment." The call ended, leaving me staring at the medication in my hand. Each vial represented thousands of dollars, each dose a carefully calculated lifeline that kept me functioning, kept me alive. My mind raced. The treatment for my condition wasn't optional, it was essential. Without it, my health would rapidly deteriorate. The monthly costs were astronomical, running into tens of thousands of dollars. The fund wasn't just savings, it was my literal lifeline. I thought about my medical history. Diagnosed at 16, I'd watched my condition slowly progress. Determined to not be defined by my illness, I built a life for myself. I worked as a freelance graphic designer, adapting my work to my health limitations. Every project was a testament to my resilience, my ability to thrive despite the challenges. But Maya and my mother-in-law had always seen me differently. To them, I was a burden, someone constantly requiring family support. They'd made snide comments at family gatherings, subtle jabs about my medical expenses, their resentment barely concealed beneath forced politeness. My husband, Michael, had always been my buffer, but he was currently on a critical work assignment overseas, unreachable for the next few days. I knew calling him would only cause unnecessary stress. I pulled out the medical file, reviewing the detailed breakdown of my treatment costs. Each line item was a stark reminder of my reality. The genetic specialists, the monthly infusions, the specialized medications, nothing was cheap, nothing was optional. A plan began to form in my mind. Maya thought she'd won, that her betrayal was complete. But she underestimated me. She'd forgotten one crucial detail. I wasn't just a patient. I was a strategist. My first call was to Mr. Harrison, the family lawyer who had helped draft the original trust. His voice was grave as I explained the situation. "They've overstepped," he confirmed. "The trust has specific stipulations about its use. This isn't just unethical. It could be legally actionable. But taking legal action would take time. And time was something I couldn't afford, not with my medical treatment hanging in the balance." I spent the next few hours gathering documentation. Bank statements, medical records, the original trust documents. Each piece of paper was a weapon, carefully collected and organized. Maya had made a fundamental mistake. She thought she knew everything about my life, my condition. But there were depths to my preparation she couldn't imagine. As the evening settled, I looked at my medication, then at the growing file of documents. Maya thought she'd stolen my future, but she was about to learn that I'd been preparing for this moment long before she even considered her betrayal. My fingers hovered over my phone. The first move was critical, and I was going to make sure it counted. The game was just beginning. The morning light filtered through my home office, casting a soft glow on the meticulously organized documents spread across my desk. I'd spent the entire night preparing, each piece of paper a calculated weapon in the war Maya had unknowingly declared. My first call was to Michael's colleague, Sarah, who could reach him internationally. "I need you to have Michael contact me urgently. I explained, my voice calm but purposeful. It's about the family trust. While waiting, I began making strategic calls. The Medical Research Foundation that had been supporting my treatment research received my first communication. I detailed the potential interruption to my treatment fund, requesting documentation of my critical medical needs. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, my primary genetic specialist, was my next call. I need a comprehensive medical impact statement, I told her, detailing the exact consequences of any treatment interruption. By noon, my phone buzzed. Michael's voice was filled with concern. Liv, what's happening? I explained everything methodically. Michael knew my family dynamics well. His initial anger was palpable. They can't just do this, he muttered. They think they can, I responded. But I'm 3 steps ahead. My research into Maya's recent activities revealed something interesting. She'd been experiencing financial difficulties. Her husband had recently lost his job, and their lavish lifestyle was under significant strain. The medical treatment fund would be a temporary solution to their mounting bills. I compiled a detailed timeline, bank transfers, communication logs, everything that would demonstrate the unauthorized use of my trust fund. Mr. Harrison had been right. This wasn't just unethical. It was potentially criminal. By evening, I had a comprehensive file. Medical records showing the critical nature of my treatment, financial documentation proving the misappropriation of funds, legal documents outlining the specific terms of the trust. Maya called again that evening, her tone significantly less triumphant. I hope you're not planning to make a big deal about this, she said, a nervous edge creeping into her voice. Oh, I'm definitely making a deal about this, I replied softly, but not in the way you might expect. My plan wasn't about revenge. It was about protection, protecting myself, my medical treatment, and exposing the true nature of their betrayal. I reached out to other family members, not to gain sympathy, but to provide documented evidence. My Aunt Margaret, always the family mediator, was particularly helpful. I'll gather statements from other family members about the trust's original purpose, she promised. Michael returned home early, cutting short his work trip. His presence was a silent support, a reminder that I wasn't alone in this fight. They thought you'd be helpless, he said, reviewing the documents. They don't understand how strong you are. The next morning, a certified letter was sent to Maya and my mother-in-law. It wasn't a threat. It was a precise, legally crafted document outlining the potential consequences of their actions. Mr. Harrison had helped me draft it perfectly. Each paragraph was a carefully placed chess move, demonstrating our preparedness and resolve. Meanwhile, I continued my medical treatments. Each infusion was a testament to my resilience, a quiet defiance against those who would see me as a burden. The Medical Research Foundation added weight to my case. Their statement detailed the potential long-term health impacts of interrupting my specialized treatment, a document that would be difficult to ignore in any legal proceedings. 3 days after my initial discovery, the first cracks appeared in Maya's confidence. Her husband discovered the potential legal implications of their actions. Panic began to set in. My phone rang. It was Maya, her previous smugness replaced by desperation. We can explain, she started. No explanation needed, I responded. Your actions will speak for themselves. The groundwork was laid. Each document, each communication was a carefully placed domino, and soon they would start to fall. Maya didn't realize something crucial. This wasn't about winning. This was about protection, about ensuring my continued health and exposing the betrayal for what it was. As evening fell, Michael squeezed my hand. Are you okay? He asked. I looked at him, a small smile playing on my lips. I'm more than okay. I'm prepared. The next move was about to begin, and Maya had no idea what was coming. The family gathering was tense, awkward, exactly as I had planned. Large mahogany table, strategically chosen neutral territory at my Aunt Margaret's house. Maya and her mother sat on one side, looking increasingly uncomfortable. My legal documents and medical reports neatly arranged before me like a carefully constructed defense. We need to discuss the medical treatment fund, I began, my voice calm and measured. Maya's husband, Mark, looked increasingly pale. He knew more than anyone about the potential legal ramifications of their actions. I've compiled extensive documentation. I continued sliding copies of bank statements, trust documents, and medical impact reports across the table. Each reveals not just the breach of trust, but the potential criminal implications of your actions. Mr. Harrison, our family lawyer, sat quietly beside me. His presence alone spoke volumes. Maya's mother attempted to interrupt. We were just trying to help. Help? I interrupted. By stealing funds specifically designated for my critical medical treatment. The room fell silent. Dr. Rodriguez's medical impact statement was particularly damning. It outlined in clinical, undeniable terms the potential health consequences of interrupting my specialized treatment. Each paragraph was a calculated blow to their fabricated narrative. Mark leaned towards Maya, whispering urgently. I could see the tension in his shoulders, the realization dawning that they had monumentally miscalculated. The Foundation has also been notified, I added. They're prepared to provide testimony about the critical nature of continuous treatment. Maya's confident facade began to crumble. Her fingers played nervously with her wedding ring, a telltale sign of her growing anxiety. Mr. Harrison spoke next, his voice professional and measured. The legal implications are significant. Unauthorized use of a designated medical trust can be considered financial fraud. The potential charges include theft, misappropriation of funds, and potential elder financial abuse. The color drained from Maya's face. We thought you wouldn't notice, she stammered. That's precisely the problem, I responded. You underestimated me. Again. The next hour was a systematic deconstruction of their actions. Bank transfers, communication logs, everything meticulously documented. Each piece of evidence removing any possibility of them claiming ignorance. Mark's financial struggles became clearer. Their desperate attempt to solve their monetary issues by stealing my medical fund was now exposed in stark, uncomfortable detail. We'll return the funds, Mark finally said, his voice defeated. That's not enough, I replied. The damage isn't just financial. It's the breach of trust, the potential risk to my health. Mr. Harrison outlined the potential settlement. It wasn't just about returning money. It was about accountability. Supervised financial oversight for Maya and her mother, mandatory family counseling, a formal written apology, and most importantly, a legal document preventing any future unauthorized access to family trusts. As the meeting concluded, the weight of their actions hung heavy in the room. Michael squeezed my hand. No words were needed. We both understood the significance of this moment. This wasn't just about winning. It was about setting boundaries, about showing that my medical condition didn't make me weak, it made me stronger, more prepared. Later that evening, as we sat in our living room, Michael looked at me with a mixture of pride and admiration. You handled that perfectly, he said. I smiled, thinking about the journey, the years of preparation, the careful documentation, the resilience. Maya had thought she could easily dismiss me, steal from me. Instead, she'd learned a valuable lesson about underestimating someone fighting for their life. My medical treatment would continue, uninterrupted, my trust fund restored. And I was stronger than ever. The game was over, and I had won.